Hey Donald, it's Dr. Hartley. I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to this, but I had a couple of things I had to do tonight. So I'm sorry that you're confused about Alex, and I'm sorry that you've been having some problems with this. So I want to kind of show you a couple of things around in the shell, in D2L, and in Alex itself. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can take a look at a couple of things. So we're going to share this. So the first thing I want to talk about is where you will find the lectures, because the lectures are not in Alex, they are in D2L. So if you're looking in the D2L shell, and if you've gone to quizzes and you've taken the acknowledgement activity, so if you've done this exercise, then when you come to content, you'll see all of these activities, okay? If you don't see all of this, it's because you haven't done that acknowledgement activity yet. Now, when you see all of these, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to open exam one, and you'll be able to open any of these topics that we're talking about, like matter units of measure, and you'll see that there's a lecture for each of these. So this is an actual link to my YouTube channel where I have uploaded videos for each of these particular things. Now, these are older videos, they're actually from 2023, and I'm hoping that I can record some newer videos to go with these. It's not that they're any different or anything like that, it's just that, there are a couple of mistakes that I've found in some of the older notes, and I present things a little bit differently now, so I'd like to be able to record things a little bit newer, so I'd like to be able to do that. So, but I unfortunately have not been able to do that yet. I've had some things come up, and I am an administrator as well as an instructor, and I've had some people keep coming to me and asking me for things. So I unfortunately haven't gotten to that yet, but that's where the lectures are. So that's the first thing. That's the lecture portion. Now, when we talk about the Alex portion, to find that, one of the places you can do that is in the opt-in for Alex section, and you can click on the Alex right here, or you can come to that from the main page, and there's a link right here. And either way works totally fine. Now, this is going to take me into the instructor view because I can't get into it from the student view, but I can go into the student view from here so that it'll look like what you would see as a student when you come into this. Now, when you come into this, it's going to dump you out to this page. And what this is the pie detail page. This is not what you want to focus on, okay? What you want to be looking at is if you click right here on these three lines, what you'll see is that you can get to the textbook. You can also get to the assignment. So if you want to look at the textbook, and I'll show you that for just so that you can see, because you were asking about, what parts of the textbook you're supposed to be looking at. In the schedule, what it says for each particular unit we're talking about, it says 1/4 through 6. So this is chapter 1, sections 4 through 6. So in Alex, in the textbook, sorry, there was too much stuff. I couldn't see what I was doing. If you go into that textbook, when you open the ebook, and I go to my table of contents, and I look in chapter 1, and I go to 1.4, that's handling numbers. And so I'd be looking at section 1.4, handling numbers, 1.5, dimensional analysis and solving problems, 1.6, real world problem solving. So those are those three sections. And then of course we go 7, 8, 9, which is the next part that we talk about. So classifications of matter, the 3 common states of matter, and the physical and chemical properties of matter. So that's the next part that we talk about. So yes, when we're talking about that schedule, that's what we're talking about in terms of what that means. So it's the chapter number in front and then the sections after that. So that's what we're talking about for that. So matter and units of measure, these are the units of measure is the first portion of this, and the matter is the second part. So this is chapter 2, sections 1 through 3, chapter 2, sections 4 through 7, chapter 3, section 1, and then chapter 8, sections 3 through 5. Okay, so that is what that's talking about. Now, you mentioned electrostatics, and I'm not sure where you're looking for electrostatics, because I'm not sure exactly where you're talking about for that, because as far as, I mean, when I think electrostatics, I think of physics for that. So I'm not sure why you're looking for electrostatics. I mean, unless we're talking about like protons, neutrons, and electrons, in which case we're talking about the atomic structure, in which case we'd be looking at, you know, some of the stuff in the atomic structure things, which is in chapter 2. Then that could be part of what you're looking at, and that would actually be in chapter 2 itself. And so if you're looking for that portion of it, then you could come into here and either find that section, or I would try a different search term. So once you've loaded this, if you're trying to do a search for electrostatics, I'm guessing it's not pulling anything up, although it does. Using his knowledge of electrostatics, Millikan found the charge of an electron. So it does actually return things on electrostatics. So there is stuff there in terms of electrostatics. So I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for there. If you can give me some more clarification, I might be able to help you with that. But I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But I do mean chapter 1, sections 4 through 6. So sections 1.4 through 1.6. That is the part for that. But as far as the rest of what the ALEKS portion is about, we're not focused on this. So what ALEKS does, the way that it's designed to work, is to be an adaptive program based on what you know. And it says, if you're in the first part of general chemistry, these are the things that you need to know. But we don't work it like that. We don't do the textbook the same way that they do. So we don't teach the first half of general chemistry in the same order that they do. So we don't use their path, okay? And we have found that students were very frustrated trying to use the path that they were using. So we have made our own assignments, and those you can get to from clicking here, and then by going to assignments. And what you'll see when you do that is you have all of these things in here. So under exam 1, these are the assignments that you're supposed to be doing for exam 1. Then you have exam 2. And you can close these if you're not working on those. And then there are the virtual labs. These are all the labs that you're going to have to do. And notice I've done a few of them so that I could record those for you guys. And then there are the post labs, so that you'll do those after your labs. And there are some exam practices in here as well. Okay. These are the due dates for those. These are the number of attempts that you have, the final submission date for each of them, and the date that they open. Okay. For your labs, you will see that they have due dates associated with them. This is the final submission date. But what happens when you do these is that when you come into them, what you'll see is that there is a late penalty, and it's 20% per day. So if you turn this in after the date that it's due, so this is due on March 22nd, if you were to turn it in on the 24th, you get 40% off the score. So that is a thing in terms of how that works. Okay. So the assignments are in that list for that you can get to from here. Okay. So that is where that's available. And of course you can get to your ALEKS gradebook from here. That will show you all of the scores that you have. And all of this should come over into the D2L gradebook in here. So when you go to your grade and review as a student, so I can show you what your gradebook would look like, you would see what your scores are for some of those things. And I should have some lab scores in here for the ones that I've done. Nope, they actually haven't come over yet because those grades are not supposed to be due yet. So they will come over when those are supposed to be due. Although I thought I had them coming over as soon as they were submitted, but that's beside the point. I'll go fix that. Okay, so those are things that you can look at based on that. Now, just making sure that I have answered all of your questions. I think that was everything that I saw. So if you have any other questions, I'm more than happy to do this again, try and walk you through whatever you need. And if you want to get on a WebEx with me so that you can ask me questions, and if anything comes up while we're talking about stuff, then you can ask me about that. That's fine. I really don't mind answering questions for students and walking them through this in person. Not a big deal at all. So if you have other questions and you want to talk to me about that, please let me know. And I will stop this and get this sent to you so that you can have this, and we'll see where we go from there. Thanks. I hope you got all your questions answered, and if not, just let me know. Thanks.